There's a group proposes easing access to medical marijuana in Arkansas after record sales. That's right. Arkansas marijuana business is lush with green. Driving in the news is on the heels of a record year for the state medical marijuana sales, $283 million. A group is seeking to get a constitutional amendment on the Arkansas ballot that would relax the state laws. The proposed ballot measure drafted by the Arkansas for Patient Access would update state law on several key points, allowing patients and caregivers to grow up to 7 mature and 7 younger marijuana plants, expanding who can certify patients to include physician assistants, nurse practitioners, and pharmacists, permitting providers to qualify patients based on any medical need rather than the state's 18 conditions, and allowing assessments through telemedicine. And recognizing patient cards from other states or allowing non-residents to obtain Arkansas cards. And they also say increasing the expiration date for new cards from 1 to 3 years. And the proposed amendment also effectively creates a trigger that will allow any adult to possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana in Arkansas if it becomes legal under federal law. So it's also basically default legalization. And a flashback for you guys, Arkansas voters rejected a ballot measure for adult use marijuana back in 2022, and the state of play is the tax revenue from medical marijuana was $31 million in 2023, down from $32 million in 2022, and topped $120 million since the industry began in mid-2019. 6.5% of sales to cardholders and dispensaries goes to the state's general tax revenue used to pay for the state government, and 4% of all sales to cardholders previously went to the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences, but now goes to help fund free meals for public school students in need. And by the numbers, there are 38 dispensaries across the state, along with 8 cultivations and 9 licensed processors. And the state's 97,000 medical card holders bought 62,227 pounds in 2023, up 23% from 50,605 in 2022. The 4 dispensaries in NWA accounted for 16.5% of statewide marijuana sales back in 2023, and NWA sales were up 5.5% last year. Meanwhile, a dispensary opened earlier last month in Pineville, Missouri, about half a mile from the Arkansas-Missouri state line, and Missouri allows for adult use for anyone 21 and over. And it will likely take a few months to see if a new facility siphons any business from Benton County's 2 dispensaries. And to stay tuned to what's next, you're going to have to hear it here on High at 9 News. What do y'all think about this?
I got an unpopular opinion on this one, man.
Mm-hmm.
They need to kill this shit immediately because it's going to get the Sacklers off. This is medical marijuana. No, I'm dead serious. This is medical marijuana. And since it's medical, you are citing record sales as to easing access to the drug. Record sales was given to OxyContin, and they eased access to OxyContin and created an epidemic.
So you're saying they're going to create a weed epidemic? Is that what you're worried about?
I'm saying
weed ain't addictive like that.
I see what you're doing there, Rico. I see what you're doing there, Rico.
Reefer Madness right here. I can see the Sacklers legal team citing this like, yo, they did that shit. Give us our money back.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
No, I think we should put them in jail. That's what they need to do. Been in an orange suit with a fucking fork for a while.
Yeah, they need to be put under the jail, but we need to stop treating medical and recreational different, and just go forward and just give access to everybody to this.
Well, this kind of does. It says anyone can possess up to an ounce that's 21 or over. So that's basically default legalization inside of this bill. Even though they just can't purchase it, they can possess it.
Right. I'm just saying, like, their argument tying it to record sales and citing it as medical cannabis and not just saying cannabis. That's a slippery slope right there.
That's because all they have is medical sales to go off of, and they had record numbers in the state in their medical market. I mean, they didn't have a trap calculator to be able to quantify how many illicit market sales were happening in Arkansas. There's nothing to compare it to.
It's a slippery slope when you're saying you have all those Reefer Madness people. This is the South they're talking about. You can have people pushing back on that, talking about how dangerous it is, blah, 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 blah. You're already saying that it's as bad as heroin, bad as all this other shit. Like, I see a battle brewing here, and
right.
get your popcorn ready, y'all. Get your popcorn ready.
You called it first. If there is, Rico, you called it first.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she's Arkansas, right? Is she Alabama? Can't remember.
She is the governor of Arkansas. Shout out to Sarah.
Tell me, where is the podium? Where's the podium? What happened to that podium?
She doesn't need a podium.
I mean, shout out to the old, Razorbacks over there.
Yeah.
So the state of Arkansas is like really, I forget what they call it. It's like the wilderness state. No, it's like it's lush. There's a lot of vegetation, a lot of growth around there.
A lot of foliage.
Shout out to the Henrys and shout out to Vance Murray, two of my people that are over in Arkansas, and tremendous weed cannabis advocates. But listen, the South is behind us and behind the rest of the country when it comes to legalization and when it comes to cannabis policy, right? So you're seeing a lot of these policies that come out of the South that look a lot like the things that were happening in the beginning of the medical movements back in 96 and 98 and the early 2000s, because nobody's learning. And then you have the little mixture of like the Southern culture of anti-weed and over-incarceration and all those other things that mix into that pot right there too. So, the South is coming along. It's incremental. We're covering these stories about Arkansas, about Mississippi, about Alabama, Louisiana, and we're covering them. And I know, like, to us, we make fun of them and we laugh about them, but they are incremental progress, and I get it. There's all kinds of stuff that's messed up in that progress, but it is actually still a step in the right direction of it, more people having access to it and less people going to jail for it. And in the South, that's a real thing. That is a real thing. So, applause.